Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you? How has your week been? I hope you understood what that little jingle at the beginning was. I worked hard on it. Let's reread some Harry Potter books. I love Harry Potter, okay? Some of my most prized possessions. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to pick these up, but oh, good gravy. Are my illustrated copies of the first 5 books, which I actually have never read, but just like look at these covers. Like that is so magical. But you know, also something about Harry Potter just makes it feel so atmospheric, like to the holidays, like fall and winter. Like I feel like it'd be weird to read these books like in the spring, summertime, you know? Like these are quintessential fall winter books. I can honestly not tell you the last time I've actually read these books. I think it's just time for a reread, okay? So let us go ahead and get started. Here we have the Sorcerer's Stone. Look at the Hogwarts Express. The inside covers. I'm just like so excited to actually like look at all of these illustrations. They just make the book come to life. Like Hagrid. Ugh. I'm so excited. Let us get started. Dudley. Dinky Duddy Dums. I think that's probably about the worst thing anybody's called in this entire series. They are on their way to Diagon Alley. Hagrid's just gotten Harry from the hut, but look at this picture. You see Hagrid's little umbrella, his little pink umbrella. I'm having a good time here. I've read this much so far. I'm on page 56 and I am loving the illustrations. They are so fun. So fun. It's a new dawn, a new day. Still reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I think I'm a little less than a third of the way through the book. Right now, Harry is about to go get on the train to go to Hogwarts for the first time, which like it actually is kind of crazy to me that like a third of the book has happened before he's even gotten to Hogwarts. I'm really enjoying reading this book and just seeing how much of the dialogue, like verbatim, has been taken from the book and was used in the movie. Like I really like it. Look at this illustration of Hagrid's hut. Like, oh my gosh. I am having the best time. Like, look at this one of Nearly Headless Nick. Like, this is so fun. Why do we not have like picture books for adults? You know, like this is so much fun. One thing that's unfortunate about movies is that you really can't capture like the characters' inner monologues. Harry just was at his first flying lesson and he and Malfoy did that whole thing with the Remember All, and now like he's in trouble with McGonagall and she stops by Flitwick's class to borrow wood, and Harry goes, "Wood?" thought Harry, bewildered. Was wood a cane she was going to use on him? You don't get that in the movie. Like her very own smelting stick. Okay, I just finished reading The Sorcerer's Stone. Oh, so much fun. And it's funny because in the book, when they go into the corridor to try to get the Sorcerer's Stone, and they're in with the Devil's Snare, Hermione figures out, oh, we need to set a fire. And Ron's like, then set a fire. And she's like, but there's no wood. And he's like, are you kidding me? You're literally a witch. Like, You don't need wood to start a fire. And it was just really funny. Ron, unfortunately, just has so much more personality in the books that they just like didn't include in the movies. Now it's time to start the Chamber of Secrets. I am currently at 35 pages into the Chamber of Secrets. I wanted to show these illustrations of Dobby. Look at this. Like, what is that? In this one, he's running down the stairs. Can you see how his whole butt is hanging out? It's currently, I think, like 1 o'clock in the morning. I am in the middle of filming my 24-hour readathon, but I am finishing Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and I think out of the whole series, this one is my most favorite book in the series, but I think it also has like the most stuff in the book that's missing from the movies. Like Dobby, not in the movie at all. Winky, she's like not there. So much of Hedwig's personality is not in the movies. That one I understand, obviously, because like they use a real owl in the movies. In the Harry Potter books, owls behave so out of character that like you literally wouldn't be able to convey those like personality quirks while using a real owl. I did in fact finish Goblet of Fire. It was so good. So I was just thinking about it earlier when I was like thinking about filming this clip and saying like Goblet of Fire is my favorite Harry Potter book. But honestly, like my favorite Harry Potter book kind of rotates between the 4th book, the 5th book, the 6th, the final 4 books. I much prefer the final 4 books to the first 3 books for some reason. Now I'm not entirely sure which Harry Potter book is my favorite, but it is time to start the 5th Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which is the final illustrated version they ever did. I'm not sure why, but previously they had been releasing them like one a year, but this one was released in 2022. And I have not seen anything about them doing the final 2 books. This is what the cover looks like. They're in the room of requirement, practicing, casting their Patronuses. It is very thick. Let's read it. Look at that. So fun. Look at how they've drawn a bridge. It's terrifying.
Ew.
It's scary.
It's pretty scary anyway.
I know, but that is terrifying. I am currently on page 224 of The Order of the Phoenix, and there's 565 pages, so I'm a little less than halfway through this book. I'm gonna see if I can finish it today. Can I read 60% of this in time? I don't know about that, but we will see. Interesting that across the Harry Potter universe, the Harry Potter books, Dolores Umbridge is unanimously like the worst villain out of the Harry Potter books. And it's so funny because like objectively, like looking at the Harry Potter villains, Voldemort is the worst, okay? He is actively trying to kill Harry at every turn. And Umbridge is not actively trying to kill him, because like everyone can relate to having somebody like Umbridge in their lives. Like having a teacher who, despite the fact that they teach for their career, like actually hate children and like work to make their lives miserable on purpose. And I don't know, it's just so funny to me that like Umbridge is the most hated character.
Two months later.
So, what's he doing? Today is February 12th. Last you saw me was December 20th. I was in way over my head. I finished Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and I started Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince on the plane heading to Texas for Christmas. But then that was all that I read of that, and then I just picked it up Tuesday. And so now I am reading the physical copy, my physical copy of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I am on page 200. How many pages are in this book? 652, so that's like a little less than a third of the way through the book. Yeah, anyways, we're back into it. We've got this, my naked Half-Blood Prince copy, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm not reading The Cursed Child, okay? I will be doing fine in life if I never read that ever again. That's awful. No. No siree. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. It's now February. I started this at the end of November. Let us get back to reading. This man was shorter than the first and oddly proportioned. His shoulders were very broad and his arms overlong, which, with his bright brown eyes, short scrubby hair, and wrinkled face, gave him the look of a powerful aged monkey. What do you mean? What do you mean, a powerful aged monkey? I'm a little over halfway through Half-Blood Prince. I'm on page 352. Don't get me wrong, the Harry Potter movies are so good, but they also still like leave out a lot from the books, you know, like people's personalities. Like Harry is so sassy and so funny in the books, and I feel like they kind of watered him down a little bit in the movies. And like Ginny, she's a wall ornament in the movie. Love her. One of my favorite characters from the book series. And like Fleur, basically non-existent after the fourth movie. But like that whole plot point is like such a big plot point in the sixth book. Okay, so I am still reading The Half-Blood Prince. I've got about a little less than 200 pages left. I'm really hoping to finish that today. Famous last words of Jess Stamford. I feel like the sixth book often gets overlooked. Like, my little brother, he's watching all the movies right now with his girlfriend and was asking me like which ones are my favorite, and I always say like the fourth one, the fifth one, and the seventh one. and I just never really like appreciate the sixth book for what it is, but I think it is very good in its own right. I'm really enjoying it, and I even find myself like laughing out loud even while I'm reading it in public. Finished reading The Half-Blood Prince, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long while since I've read these books, and when we got to the end of this book, we kind of like glazed over the whole reason the book is called The Half-Blood Prince. Like, I kind of forgot that like in the books, the resolution literally lasts like half a page, and I'm like, I don't understand why we make such a big deal about this plot point if it just wraps up in like 10 pages and we don't even really like discuss it. I did enjoy it. I really enjoy like getting to see characters that you don't get to see so much in the movies, like Fleur and Ginny. Like, they really are unfortunately kind of like irrelevant in the movies, which is like really unfortunate. Like, getting to like go back and like read the books and like remember like, oh yeah, these characters matter a little bit more than we give them credit for when we watch the movies is like kind of fun. Now it's time to start the Deathly Hallows. So I've got my headphones. I'm going to put on a Harry Potter ambiance. I've got a Topo Chico, and I'm just going to sit outside and enjoy being outside for like an hour. So I have about 270 pages left of the Deathly Hallows, and what's crazy to me is I have only like just now hit the beginning of the second movie, which is crazy to me. So like all of this is in the first part, in Deathly Hallows Part 1, and it's only this much that's in Deathly Hallows Part 2. There's twice as much book for the first movie as there is for the second movie. Interesting that like in the books they wear robes a lot more than they ever do in the movies. When they're in the wizarding world, they very rarely wear muggle clothes, whereas in the movies they are wearing them all of the time. So I think it's so interesting that they chose to do that in the movies. Finally, after almost 3 months, I finally finished my reread of Harry Potter. So late last night, I read the last couple of pages of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and that ending, you know, I do wish the epilogue was a little longer. That's nothing new. I always think that the epilogue should be a little bit longer. I would have just loved to see how the characters were living their lives, like in the future, in calm and peace, a little bit more than we did. But I do think that I love the ending of these books. Rereading Harry Potter is just so much fun. This is at least the second time I've read the books all the way through, maybe the third. I honestly cannot remember. I don't think you can ever reread the Harry Potter series too many times, because regardless of how many times you read the books, how many times you watch the movies, every time you read them, you're going to pick up something different than you did before. You're going to notice little details that you hadn't noticed previously. Despite the fact that the movies are so close to how the books are, there is still so much information in the books that's left out of the movies. Whole entire characters that have such a minimal part in the movies have such a significant part to play in the books. And you just don't remember that if you don't reread the books. Harry Potter is one of the very few book series that I feel like can be enjoyed by people of all ages. Like 5-year-olds and 95-year-olds, I feel like, can really enjoy Harry Potter. I don't know what there is about it. It just has this magic about it that makes the reading experience all that much more fun. I did rate every single book in the series of 5 stars, and it really just made me feel like a kid again. I am so glad that I decided to reread these books, even though it did take me 3 months to get through them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspired you to go back and read some of your favorite books. You know, sometimes I feel like Book Talk and BookTube can be a little bit toxic in that you feel like you can't go back and reread books that you've already really enjoyed, but I feel like that is the best part about reading, you know, getting to go back and re-experience worlds and characters that you know and love. Don't feel bad about wanting to go back and reread your favorite books, because I think it can be some of the best time spent reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoy this type of content. If you could only read one series for the rest of your life, what series would it be? Let me know down in the comments, and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content in the future. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.